Hello, I'm Megan Lynn, and this is Chapter 2 in your Reader's Handbook for Read 116. I may be your instructor, but you may have a different instructor who's using this videotape. Either way, welcome. Let's look at your book on page 29, Reader's Handbook. All right. This chapter covers organizational patterns and transitional words. So let's get started. Organizational patterns can also be called methods of development. So when you are taking quizzes, critical reading assessments, and exams for this course, your instructor may call them organizational patterns or methods of development. So make a note of that. What they are vehicles for presenting a message. They are details in support of a main idea, and they're organized in patterns. So why do we need to identify organizational patterns? Because they signal how facts will be presented. They're sort of a blueprint to use while you're reading, and it allows you to predict upcoming information. So that's why we use them and need to know what they are. Okay, and how do we identify these organizational patterns? Well, for the main idea, when you're figuring out the main idea, that helps you identify the organizational patterns. So when you read a passage, you should be thinking in your mind, okay, what is the main idea of this passage? And then there will be signal words, which are also called transition words. They connect parts of sentences, and they lead readers to anticipate what's coming next. They let the reader know what the writer's thoughts are. Okay, so organizational patterns and their signal words. I would like you to look at your Reader's Handbook, page 30 and 31. There is a shaded area that gives you a list of the ones that we'll be using in this course. You may or may not be able to see it so well on the screen, but hopefully you have your book in front of you. Yeah, sure. So let's look at this list of, it says patterns of organization and signal words. So on this side, sorry it's getting blurry, make it a little bit closer. On this side, this is the pattern of organization. On this side, these are the signal words that let you know that this is the pattern of organization. So for the pattern of organization called addition, signal words are furthermore, again, also, besides. So when you see those words, you know that the author is going to give us a list of additional information. Okay, cause and effect. If the organizational pattern is cause and effect, then you will see words like because, or for this reason, or consequently, or therefore, and then you know that the organizational pattern for that passage is cause and effect. Okay, there's classification. I won't read all of these to you. I want you to go through them. There's classification, comparison, contrast, definition, description, generalization and example, location or spatial order, simple listing, summary, and time order, sequence or narration. I won't read them all to you, but I want you to go over them right now in your book. Okay, so then there are practices for organizational patterns on page 37. Let's take a peek at that right now. Actually, practice 1, oh, it starts at the very bottom of page 37, but really it's on page 38. Okay, I'm covering up some of the answers because I don't want you to see all of them, but let's just do number 1 together. Number 1 says, bad or fetid breath in the morning is caused by sulfur-bearing compounds. Because the salivary flow is lessened during sleep, microorganisms in the mouth convert food and plaque into amino acids and peptides that break down into compounds with a resulting unpleasant sulfur odor. Okay, so is this classification, cause and effect, or addition? Well, it uses words like because, and so that tells us that it is probably cause and effect, which it is. It's B, cause and effect. And it's cause because it tells us the cause of the bad breath and then the effect. It's not a very fun topic, I know. But anyway, let's look at one more. Number 2, butterflies seek the natural protection of the undersides of leaves or stems during a rainstorm. Asher. Thank you. I have my son videotaping for me, so I have to remind him every now and then to look over here. Anyway, butterflies seek the natural protection of the undersides of leaves or stems during a rainstorm. Their delicate bodies could be damaged by the wind or raindrops. When resting, butterflies look like teardrops as their folded wings repel falling water. Okay, so you can see that I have the answer for you. It's description. How do I know it's description? Well, just from reading it. It tells about their delicate bodies. When resting, butterflies look like teardrops. It gives me a clear description of what that looks like. It doesn't necessarily give me a definition, so it's not definition. It just gives me a description. And of course, it's not summary because we just know that a summary would mean something that comes at the end and sort of summarizes everything up for us. So number 2 is A, butterflies. There are more practices on page 40. They're a little bit different. It's just they don't give you the choices. You have to figure it out by looking at the box up here. So don't really see all the answers. But for example, I'm not covering that up very well, am I? Number 1, Cinco de Mayo is a holiday celebrated on May 5th each year by Mexicans and Mexican Americans. It commemorates, Asher, the 862 victory of Mexico over France at the Battle of Puebla. Cinco de Mayo is Spanish for 5th of May. Okay, so the organizational pattern is definition because it doesn't just describe what Cinco de Mayo is, it actually gives us the definition of the word, and it's in the last sentence. It says Cinco de Mayo is Spanish for 5th of May. So it actually gives us a definition. So we know that organizational pattern for sure. All right, I want you to do all of these on your own, please. And then, whoops, shoot, sorry. Went a little bit too far. And then there's another practice that's transition word practice on page 42. We went over those signal words, but just again, there's a shaded area in your book that lists the signal words. They also are listed back here where it lists the organizational patterns. Here's also the signal words. So they're here on page 30, and they are also over here on page 42. Okay, so there are practices for you so you can master these concepts, which I'm very sure that you will. Okay, and we are finished with this videotape, so I look forward to seeing you in class and the next videotape.